All right, you guys all had some questions about the car, and you were wanting me to fire it up and take you for a drive. Just wanted to go around the car, kind of show you what it was all about. Honestly, I'm not a big YouTube guy, but wanted to show you guys that the little guy in his garage could build this. It doesn't need to be carbon fiber, doesn't need to be anything fancy, but if you understand how to use tools and can cut some stuff out and make some roll cage pieces, you can make this happen. So anyhow, let me talk about the front aspect of the car here real quick. By the way, my name's Brandon. I'm a LA fireman, and this is what I wanted to do on my off time, just to learn about electronics and kind of see where the future was taking us. So what we have here, honestly, is it's a 74 Datsun 260Z, but I put 240Z because everybody knows what they look like and it attracts more attention, and more people would be able to find this and maybe get some help with their own project. So in a nutshell, I've got 12 LG Chempack batteries. These are out of the Chrysler Pacifica. They, I believe they're around 2.6 kilowatts each, but what you end up having is a 32 kilowatt hour battery. It's good for about, I'd say 100 miles. I haven't played with regenerative braking very much, but I think I'll gain a little bit of mileage when I start using that. So we've got 10 of these modules up front, and I've got one in the tunnel. You can't see it back there, but my whole idea was to build it similar to an RC car. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was playing with RC cars, it was all about putting the weight in the center and as low as possible. I wish I could have those batteries a little bit lower, but this is what I came up with, so I had space for a passenger. Anyhow, everything's central, and I've always wanted to do midship handling wise. I know that midship is better than hanging the drive unit out back like Tesla does. I want it in the center, so the car handles well and as low as possible. Anyhow, so 12 LG Chempacks. We've got 10 up front, and then I've actually put 2 in the spare tire area in the back. Battery management wise, I've got these are similar to dilithium design, but these are from Thunderstruck, and there's a guy named Kellen who will help you set this up, and you will get good at pinning and soldering and wiring. But once you get in the swing of things, it goes pretty quick. You're able to understand what's going on. You have the schematic. It works out pretty well. Overall, there's 192 of these white leads. Each one of these represents a cell. 192 cells. All of those cells are calibrated to a range of like 3.8 to 4.2. There's a low voltage cutoff and a high voltage cutoff. And I'm not going to get too crazy. I'm just going to give you kind of a walk around, and if you guys want more information or you want me to do more stuff, let me know. I'm not a big YouTube guy, but I want to help people. And yeah, see where it takes me. Anyhow, contactor box, very simple, right here. Got my contactors inside that box right there, and that's actually a outdoor Christmas power strip box. Well, in my mind, it's cheap, it works, and it doesn't conduct. Simple. Put some high strength Velcro underneath this, run all of your cables, you're good. Also, the cables that you see here, they're not crazy expensive orange automotive ones. They're off of Amazon, and I can get you the information if you want that. But they're solid core, very, very efficient. They work well. Anyhow, we've got one LTC for each battery. These are measurement boards, and they keep all of those cells within range. The main control unit is right here. That's called the MCU, and that kind of orchestrates the entire event. Kind of a daisy-chained event for keeping the batteries, because they are lithium-ion, within range. They also have thermistors that control the heat and actually monitor the heat of the battery and get you the temperature and other information if you want later on. So that's calibrated into the MCU. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm running right here, running just a Honda Civic radiator. I run it through the drive unit in the rear, and it comes around, and I've got a Delphi DC-DC converter right there, and I run water and glycol through that, back through the radiator. That keeps everything within 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. And then I'm also running a Thunderstruck charger. They can set you up with it, and they actually calibrated it for my battery pack. So my 32 kilowatt hour battery pack, and this is just a Type 2 220, and I can't remember, it charges at like 10 to 12 amps, but it works and it's light, and it wasn't very expensive. So let me just take you around. By the way, this is all fiberglass panels, lightweight, polycarbonate rear glass, lightened it up a little bit, and you can't really find this glass anymore, so that was an even better decision I made, I guess, to keep it lightweight. These are fiberglass. Kind of did some drilling on the door handles and whatnot to keep everything light. ESR wheels. These are actually 8.5s in the front, 9.5s in the rear. 315, they're the R888. They're pretty sticky. They work really well. This car's so light, I run them at about 25 PSI square all the way around. It works pretty good, and they feel sticky. Handles like a slot car, and it's very rapid, very violent when it launches. And I went with Willwood brakes. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're 6-piston up front and 4-piston in the rear. And those are from Silver Mine Racing, and he sells the entire kit. So once again, Thunderstruck online, ask for Kellen, he'll help you out with all of that. These are LG Chempacks out of a Chrysler Pacifica, 12 of them, and they're basically 6 and 6 in series, and they work well. That'll end up giving you about 403 volts if you have every cell calibrated to about 4.2, and it works. It's pretty fast. All LED. It's always great to save energy, electricity when you're running an electric car. So LED headlights, just a little aerodynamic work there on the headlight. And then let me show you the inside. By the way, these fenders, these are all from I said Thunderstruck, but these are from Z-Trix in Arizona, and his name's John Washington. There is a lot of work. You don't just bolt them on. You have to cut out your arcs around the fenders. Dad and I took a piece of hose, made that happen. Traced it and cut it. Anyhow, they're very lightweight. You can lift these suckers up with one finger, carry them around, and it works well. I guess while I'm talking about that, we can talk about this is vinyl wrap. This is not paint. This is 3M, can't remember what series, 2021 or whatever it is, but it's got the gloss in it, and a lot of people don't think about this, but how many gallons of materials do you use when you paint a car? All those products are heavy. This is one coating of 8mm vinyl wrap on top of the epoxy. I just went with epoxy primer, sanded it out, and had them apply this. If I scuff it or whatever, I can take these screws out, remove the fender, and replace it. Really fast, good for racing, super simple, easily replaced. Inside the car, this car helped me learn how to TIG, by the way. I welded the cage up, put it all together. Sorry about the lighting. Got a full cage, and my idea was to triangulate, in case you guys haven't seen this before, the way that the roll cage holds the drive unit in there. So it all kind of becomes one and unitizes it. And I feel like anytime you can use driveline or an engine to, be part of your chassis and increase structure, that's a good thing, and less components. I went ahead and ran a steering wheel. You can detach this. It's the removable NRG steering wheel. Really neat, simple. And I hang it up there. Got a little hook here. Pretty fun. Just stays right there, and I can get in the car. This setup is from EV Controls. This is actually just an iPad, but my controller is back behind the passenger seat. And I don't know if I might have to get a flashlight and turn that on. Let me see what I can do here. I'll have to show you guys that in a little bit. Anyways, the controller's behind the seat, and it's Bluetooth to the iPad, so I don't have to run any wiring to the controller. This is just charging it and keeps it topped off. The other Tesla component, only other Tesla component really, is the throttle. And if you go through EV Controls, they'll show you exactly what to do, what you need as far as wiring, setting everything up. I did do all the wiring in here, and once you get going, like I said, it turns out pretty good, or efficient and fast. Let me just open the deck lid. I kind of used what I had here and just made it work. I measured and cut a hole, and there it is. It sits right in there. Plenty of room for the seats. Running my water line around right there. And I'm actually running traction control. So that's the GMSS setup. It's through the satellites, and it's at the millisecond level. And the over-the-air update just recently gave us control over the traction control. So you got like a numerical value from 0 to 10, and you can calibrate that in. So depending on how much traction you want on the street, or if you want to slide around, you can do that. One thing to note, this sucker, nobody knew what to do. I talked to a couple people, but they didn't really know if it was gonna work or not. This drive unit's been pushed and rotated all the way down and in forward. What I had to do was run a recovery tank right here, and that's off of the vent in the front. And yeah, it does want to push a little fluid up, but the thing's living and it runs, and I didn't have to crack into it and do the pump and change things around. For now, that's working really well. And I've got a little breather down there. The fluid seems to stay in there, and it works. If you guys have more questions, let me know. Try and get what you need for information. But I'll show you what I mean by high angle on the driveline. Because it's sitting there, obviously it's more of a dune buggy scenario where I'm gonna have to get a flashlight, but you can see where the drive shafts are at a higher angle than normal. I'll be right back. Let me grab a flashlight. All right, I'm back with the flashlight here so you can see kind of what's going on underneath. Tried to tuck everything up really well. Use the existing suspension to cradle the bottom of the drive unit. Let me get under there. Now there's the drive unit. You can see I just ran 2 parallel bars, and it's still rubber on the mount for the Tesla drive unit. Here's my half shafts. I'm doing a little bit of painting, so don't mind the plastic there, but you can see how everything looks. Nice and flat. My water lines. Stock suspension, believe it or not, front and back. I didn't spend a ton of money on Apex Engineering or T3, any of that stuff. I was kind of raised to design and build things that work. A lot of guys, I feel they spend a lot of money. Yeah, it might be stronger, but if something works, it works. The two other modules are underneath the spare tire cover right here. 1, 2, and then those have LTCs or measurement boards behind them. So those are getting monitored too. And that's the antenna for the Bluetooth, or I'm sorry, not Bluetooth, but satellite traction control. GMSS traction control. Yeah, you can see the seats and everything. But just wanted to show you guys around the car real quick. If you have more questions, I don't know if I'm gonna do the whole like and comment thing, but if you want to like and comment, you can do that. And then subscribe so you get more of my videos if I do show more stuff. Small 12 volt motorcycle battery right over here, and that's for the 12 volt system. The DC-DC converter right here, that, remember before I mentioned, has water flowing through it to the radiator, that drops or steps the 400 volt battery pack down to 12 volts, little tiny guy. That's all that big DC-DC converter does right there. So that runs the lights, that runs the contactors, that runs everything that starts the car up. And it works. It works. It wasn't expensive. This battery was $60 on eBay. And if you're running all, you know, LED and LCD screen, you're not running these gauges and whatnot on your dash that pull a ton of voltage, you're good. You're good to go. So kind of made my own grill, air dam, and let me, I'm gonna cut the video one more time. I'll show you what the contactor box looks like inside. All right, you guys, I'm back. Here's the contactor box. Really simple. You can spend a lot of money if you want to, or you can just do what I did, plastic box. And I kind of labeled everything so it's nice and clean. You can see how it looks. There's a pre-charge resistor right there, the gold little guy right there, and then his relay is next to him, the little black box right there. And I don't really need to say anything because it's all labeled. There's all the secrets right there. It all works. Pretty simple. Only running one fuse. And I'm not running a cutoff. I'm just very careful. I have gloves if I need to take the battery apart or whatnot, or maintenance. But let me go over to the other side so you guys can see everything. It works. I've got a mini bus fuse. I don't know if you can see the mini bus fuse right there, and it goes over and into the charger. Let me point at it. Hold on real quick for you guys. Right there, and that goes over to the charger. Just to be safe, you're supposed to do that. If you have any more questions, let me know. Put that cover back on, and then I'll take you guys for a ride, just to show that it works and it's fast. Give me 1 second. All right, you guys, I'm back. Just wanted to show you the steering wheel setup real quick. And my name is Brandon. Didn't really introduce myself, but I'm the guy that did this. You see me on the video, you'll know who I am. Just want to make sure you guys can recognize me. And glad for the. I'm really happy to be able to help you guys. Let me just show you something real quick here. Do any of you guys hate wiring running up to the steering wheel on race cars? I do. I didn't like that. I wanted it to be light. I wanted it to be simple. So I actually went with wireless turn signals. There it is right there. Kind of a neat little party trick. Basically ran like a side-by-side module that goes to a wireless relay that runs off of this. You can get those wireless relays from China all day long, wherever you want, Amazon. But I like this because there's no wiring. Anyways, I can show you real quick. I'm gonna hit a button. I don't know if you can see my finger and the tail light at the same time. But, here we go. There you go. Just hitting the button. Wireless. And I can detach the steering wheel, walk around with it. I'll actuate the other one. Here we go. Gonna hit the other one. And same with the front. All wireless. Let me hit it again. Let me hit this one. Something fun to do. Less weight, less wiring, cleaner. And you know, steering wheel doesn't get all caught up in wiring when you turn it. Let me just fire the car up for you. I'm gonna hang the steering wheel up here. Might be a little anticlimactic. Basically what I got is a cutoff right here. I just fired up the iPad. It's gonna take a second. But anyhow, there's my cutoff. If anything goes awry or drive unit's not acting or responding to the throttle, I can always cut power right here. And that'll disconnect everything going to the drive unit as far as electrical energy. I wanted to go really simple. I just took a piece of plastic, cut it out right there. And everything I did was about weight, lightweight in mind. Door panels are aluminum powder coat. Real simple, just pull handles off of a rally. Sell these on eBay rally car. Anyhow, to fire this thing up, we can start up the program here. Here's all your telemetry, and this is through EV Controls. They're in Canada. Really great system. They do not need to, or they don't require you to replace the drive unit inverter or the PCB board. It stays in there, and they flash it. They can flash it online with your laptop. You talk to them, and they walk you through it. Anyhow, a bunch of messages coming through on the iPad. I'm going to fire it up, and you can kind of see how the telemetry works and see how everything measures. So you might hear the water pump. There you go. Had to look at my phone for a second to make sure I was still rolling. Don't want to waste some time. This will give you a bunch of telemetry. Drive unit right now is at 28 degrees Celsius. We've got 402 volts on board right now. It'll measure your RPM and your kilowatts. And I've got a couple different setups right now. 350, 400, and 450. With the performance motor, I didn't mention it was a performance or sport motor. These suckers will turn 18,000 RPM if you turn them up or close to it. They make about 620 horsepower. And a lot of people know this as well. It'll make 3,200 foot-pounds of torque if you've got it turned all the way up. The armature's at like 450 foot-pounds of torque. And the reduction gear is about a 9.73 to 1. So you multiply that, multiply a 450 by around 10, you get your torque. I haven't broken anything yet because the tires never hook. So hopefully I don't break anything. Anyhow, next little video will be me getting in it and driving it. We'll show you how it accelerates and stuff here in a second. Alright. Hold on. Okay, we're back in the car. It's still running. I just let it circulate the fluid, kind of let it keep going while I was getting ready to get in the car here. And that's what it looks like out the back. So what I'm going to do is open up the garage and we're going to back it out. I hope you guys can see. I'm going to try to put the phone up here on this mount so you can see how it accelerates. A lot of people don't know until they know what one of these feels like. So this car actually weighs around 2,400 pounds with the battery setup I have in it currently. I'm thinking about running it at the drags. If you guys want me to do that, let me know. See what it turns. So I'm just going to put you in there. We're going to back out. Actually, I'm going to show you how I put it in gear. Got to have your foot on the brake for the EV Controls app. This is neutral, and you'll see it correspond. Neutral, reverse. You can touch the screen, or you can touch a button in case the screen dies, and it'll go back to neutral. Reverse, neutral, drive. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it in reverse. You guys saw how that worked. Steering wheel's back on. Quick disconnect, you guys already saw that. And I'm going to set you right in here. We're going to go down the street. I need to let the drivetrain warm up just a little bit. Make sure everything has fluid, and do a couple pulls just to show you how much torque and rapid acceleration it's got in it. And we're going to back out just a little bit here, making sure we're clear. Can't hear it. It's totally silent. The drivetrain will make a little bit of noise sometimes because the CV joints aren't entirely happy running at that angle, but they work. They're actually a Tesla inner. We retain the original Tesla Model S inner CVs, And by the way, the drive shaft shop in North Carolina helped me out with this setup. And then on the outside, we ran a high strength 930 CV joint, which has worked pretty well. I do want to work them over to get more angle out of them because of where the drive unit is mounted. But here we go, we're backing. Yeah, hold on real quick. All right, we're back. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and go down the block here, let the drivetrain warm up, and you will hear the wind of the drive unit. It gets a little bit quieter as we move along here and it warms up and fluid goes throughout the system. Pretty nice day. It's around 5 o'clock here in Brea, California. I don't know, it's maybe 60s, like 72 degrees outside. And the drive unit is right around 29 degrees Celsius. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and check real quick. I'm gonna pull this out and show you what I can adjust on the actual screen. We can go to this setting and we've got all kinds of parameters. Speed scaler, that's for your speedometer, which I need to calibrate still. My max power is turned down. It's actually at 350 kilowatts, and it's still very rapid. I've got my cooling fan set to turn on at 33 degrees Celsius with the controller behind the passenger seat there. Wheel speed, that's for traction control. Traction control level, 100% or 10 because I'm on the street. I still can't hook up with 315s. It's spinning them like crazy. I've got a minimum HV high voltage pack voltage or traction pack voltage at 315 and the maximum's at 400. Basically meaning if I get down to that level on the battery pack, it's going to cut everything out. We want to damage the lithium ion setup, the Chrysler Pacifica modules, or they call them LG Chempacks. Pretty robust battery, by the way. They I saw the delivery guy drop a couple of them. You know how delivery guys can be, as he got out of the truck. And all right, here we go. We're putting it back in drive. Car's coming around. 1 second. And they still worked after he dropped them on the ground. And I saw him do it. But here we go. We're gonna take off. We've got a little bit of traffic around us. I don't have a brake booster on this, and it still works pretty well with the 11-inch Silvermine Racing rotors and calipers, the 6-piston calipers. But here we go. I don't know how well you can hear me. I'm gonna go around the block and warm it up. The drive unit should be pretty well warmed up now. I'll just roll on it down the street here with the traction control on. What happens is you do get a symbol on the software when the satellites have linked up. It'll show you TC on in green, meaning traction control is ready to take over at the millisecond level. If it feels as if wheel slip is occurring. So in theory, your car should be going around 30 miles an hour and the wheel turns, arbitrary number, 500 RPM. Well, if you're going 30 and your car, the rear wheel's turning at 1100 RPM, it cuts out power at the millisecond level. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and accelerate here just a little bit for you. We got a car coming out. Looks like they're looking. I have to wait a second. And Hang on, here we go. And traction control did engage. Now, we'll go ahead and turn traction control off. And probably get a little bit of wheel spin here, but it'll be even more violent. But it's as quiet as can be and very docile. I hate to say golf cart, but it's very similar to that. Go ahead and make a right-hand turn here and kind of show you its personality down the street. On the suspension if I want to. Anyways, there you guys go. I'm thinking about running it at the drags. If you guys want me to do that, let me know. Alright, you guys, there's the ride for you. I can give you information. If you need any more help or you guys want to build something like this, let me know. Like I said, you don't need a fancy shop, just put it together. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care.